everybody. Welcome to a new morning and evening in His presence. This is Pastor Yadi. And a woman who had been suffering from a hemorrhage for 12 years came up behind him and touched the fringe of his cloak. For she was saying to herself, "If I only touch this garment, I will get well." Matthew 9:20-21. Rise as you hear these words. She was strong in her thoughts after so many years. She had it. Even the scribes, the physicians, could not help her for 12 years. Maybe it's difficult for you to rise up with these words that because this woman created a very strong faith. Over all those years, she was so desperate. So for you this morning, in your morning, or maybe you listen in the car to these words and you hear it from Matthew. If I only touch his garment, I will get well. And we speak about the same Jesus as of today. Jesus was known for healing people with and without prayer. There's a thing that we must understand, that Jesus is there for the brokenhearted, for those who need a doctor, as he said, for those who are lost. And he was not only talking about those who were following him as his disciples, or maybe some other Jews who were trying to follow him and really wanted to follow him with their heart. But he speaks also to us for those who are lost as Christians, desperate, waiting for an answer to be healed. Not only physical. Hold on. Hold on these words and hold on his clock. Touch the fringe of his cloak. He hears you and he feels you. In fact, there were times when it looked as though he was not involved at all in the miracle that had happened through him. From the gospel records, it seemed to have started when one very sick woman saw the potential of a moment and thought if she could just touch his garment, she would be well. She sensed something was available through a touch that was completely unseen. It had not been done before. Neither was there a record of this process ever being included in Jesus' instructions for how to get your miracle. He never even implied it was possible. She watched them work and came to the conclusion that he carried something on his person that could be accessed through touch. And for you, and for those who you pray, Jesus is still the same. And if you have lack of faith, you still have to hold on his garment. Because even if you don't pray, he hears and feels you. Maybe you turn off now the button of your device because you have to go to work. But hear your prayer as we pray together. Lord, I want to learn to rest in your presence so much that other people see your power and love flowing out of me as they did with you. I believe very strongly as we speak no verbal words out, Jesus is always there to listen to you. Even in the unseen. And you and me know that we live so much in the mystery and in that unseen. But your God is the same as my God, and he hears you. So go now and do what is on your list. And in those moments, try to reflect. I wish you a thoughtful day. Blessings. Can I say good evening? And was it a good evening for some who are ready to go to bed? Or some who still have to go in that evening? In what time frame that moment is, it's all fine. Did you think about the hemorrhage woman? And 12 years is a long time. Did you thought about touching the garment, the fringe of his cloak? Did it frustrate you? Or did you feel something in your heart that put on again a fire of a longing to build up your faith? Take time and come to that sacred space. And think about, there is no question that faith was at work in her heart, and it was. And I believe that it is in your heart too. But to stretch out to a high level that sometimes we don't dare to take because of lack of faith. She walked those 12 years. And maybe you and me, we have to wait a little bit longer to receive. God works in His own time, and that's no excuse for God. In our humanity, we think different, we feel different, we walk different, we live different. We live in a time frame where with God there is no beginning and there is no end. He is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And we have to hold on His promises. For that woman, she physically touched Jesus and He felt. There was a power that went through Him. And this is the same power that can go through Jesus for you, or for those you are praying for. So I may be in your world, and particularly in that female, her world, was rarely, if ever does a person in her condition become aware of her fate, of their fate. But it is possible. The focus was not on herself. She did a movement, she acted on what she felt she needed to do. And that's the key. As a result, faith was her normal expression. Faith sees and responds to unseen realities. Now, if it is time for you, close up the day and open the night to go to bed. And pray with me. Lord, I don't need to force myself to drum up faith. I only need to look up to you and know that your eyes looking at me. And believing faith is the byproduct byproduct of fixing my gaze on you, who is faithful. I wish you good night rest, a deep sleep, a good night. Blessings.